The days of bringing the ushers forward to then pass offering plates down every aisle are probably gone for quite some time, if not forever. So is your church ready for the increase in online recurring giving? We'll explore that issue on this edition of the Giving Series. Hi, I'm Bill Hobson, and this is the first of a three-part discussion on the blessings and challenges of an increase in online recurring gifts to your church. With all of the challenges brought to churches during the pandemic era, there were also a tremendous amount of blessings. Most of you developed or improved your ability to communicate digitally, many for the first time ever. You invested more time and resources into improved production qualities, social media content and scheduling, and found innovative ways to serve your church family and community. And from the standpoint of giving, when the plates were no longer being passed, you pivoted quickly and effectively to encourage and accept online giving. So you've been creative, nimble, and you've embraced new technology, even though a year ago, many of these changes would have caused your leadership team to break out into hives. It's been a sprint. It's been a barrage of meetings, Zoom calls, and equipment purchases, and a hyper-speed journey into the digital era, and you have done it. In all seriousness, congratulations. Well done. It really is a big deal that you're still serving, preaching, and bringing God's Word to your church family. In return, for the most part, reports are indicating that those connected congregations have been largely faithful in their financial support of the church. That's a great thing. Certainly there are exceptions to that, and if your church is in the exception category, it's not too late to right the ship. And if we can help in any way, please let us know. Now, having kind of laid out the foundation for our series that's coming up, let me turn the focus to the primary reason that we're doing all of this video series. Your congregation is now conditioned to donate online. Many have set up recurring giving, and it's for good reasons. It's convenient, it's consistent, and it feels good to know that even though I can't be inside the church building, I'm doing something to help. But getting lost in all of this transition to digital giving is the concept of worship. If you believe that giving is a form of worship, and I think you do, and you have a congregation that has transferred its giving to an online interaction, are you still incorporating the worship aspects of giving into your service? Ushers are no longer being summoned to the front of the sanctuary where a prayer suddenly springs them into action for the mostly coordinated team collection effort. Offering plate salesmen are having a tough time. They've been replaced by mobile app developers, and your church financial officer no longer has to wash his or her hands to clean off the residue of paper or coin currency. And aside from the few folks who still really like to write checks, there really isn't any tangible money being donated. So why does it matter? Who cares? Well, because the tangible donation process required thought, intent, planning, and effort. You couldn't do it by accident. Recurring online gifts really don't require those same things. A husband and wife could really have one conversation every couple years to determine the amount they'd like to give every month. They create some sort of a login credential in the church system, enter an amount, set it, and forget it, like a Netflix payment. But you're not Netflix. So all of this leads me to ask a handful of questions that we'll be addressing in this series. Number one, has your church willingly given up on the concept of addressing giving as part of worship? Because it's now viewed as an interruption to the flow of service that we've got down with our online presentation? Number two, if your church fails to address the worship part of giving, isn't it logical to assume your congregants are doing the same thing? Number three, When we were in the habit of giving in person with physical currency and processes, a truly touched heart could very well be more likely to give a larger donation. Can that still happen in a touchless digital offering world? Question 4. Have you considered strategies for encouraging recurring givers to increase the amount of their recurring gifts? And number 5, does your church excel in the art of thankfulness? You know, the number one reason somebody doesn't donate is they aren't asked. But the number 2 reason right behind that is that they never felt appreciated for the times that they did give. So we'll dive into those questions and more in the next few videos in this series. And in the meantime, I would love to hear your thoughts and comments and questions about what we've discussed here. Please reach out via email to us at thegivingseries@gmail.com. Thanks for being willing to think through this vital ministry, worship, giving connection, because they really are connected. And if your church or ministry could benefit from further insight and guidance in this area, I really hope you'll reach out and say hello. And we'll see you next time as we continue here on the Giving Series.